and then we can get started. Okay, this is position 72 on my calendar, State of Georgia versus Elijah Juan Jackson. Mr. Jackson is charged in warrant number 2022 WA 06184 with committing the offense of criminal trespass. He's also charged in warrant number 2022 WA 06185 with committing the offense of criminal damage to property in the second degree. Mr. Jackson has elected to represent himself today, which is his right, and I'm going to give him that right. The state is represented by Attorney Freeman. Attorney Freeman, would you swear your witness in and begin your examination?
Thank you, Your Honor. Officer Cox, would you mute yourself and turn your video on?
Yes, can I get 1 second to park? I'm still with my family trying to park real quick.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear and affirm that the testimony about to provide in the matter of State of Georgia versus Elijah Juan Jackson will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Please tell us your name and how you're employed. And I need your video to stay on for us.
Yes, ma'am. Officer Cox with Clayton County. Officer Cox with Clayton County Police Department.
How long have you worked with the Clayton County Police Department?
For 2 years.
Sir, were you working with the Clayton County Police Department on April 8th of 2022?
Yes. I'm sorry. Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
Officer Cox, do you need a moment or can we proceed?
I'm sorry. My hold on, give me 1 moment. I'm sorry. My she's trying to agitate. I'm trying to get her back home.
Okay.
Okay, how much time do you need? Because this is our last case and we're trying to finish the hearing.
I'm like 10 minutes away from home.
How old is your daughter?
She's 1 year old.
I remember those days. Animal crackers go a long way.
Well, let me ask you this, Officer Cox, because like I said, this is our last hearing, and I don't think anybody wants to wait 10 minutes. Are you able to go forward or what?
Yes. Can I get like 5 minutes just to get her settled?
When you say settled, is she in the car seat?
Yes, sir.
She is not bothering me. I agree with Ms. Freeman. We've been at this since 7.
Yeah.
After 7 this morning.
Right. So we really don't have any extra time, Officer Cox.
You're doing fine, sir.
Okay, we'll try to make it quick. Were you working with the Clayton County Police on April 8th of 2022?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And on that particular day, did you respond to 7184 South Lake Parkway in Morrow, Georgia, in reference to a disturbance?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is that incident location?
Okay.
Was that a business or a residence?
I'm sorry. This is That's a business. That's a business.
It's a business, okay. And when you arrived at that location, did you meet with a Mr. Platt?
Yes, ma'am. He's a worker at the incident location.
And what did Mr. Platt tell you that happened?
He advised me when he got there, the front door was damaged, and that he once he went in the incident location, he saw the defendant in there, and he immediately contacted 911.
Was he able to tell you what the defendant was doing?
Yes, ma'am. He just said he was just in there, just in there with a lost look, like he was just kind of like dazed, looking, just kind of out of it.
What type of business is this?
I'm not sure what the business does.
Did the defendant, Mr. Jackson, have permission to be in the business?
No, ma'am, he didn't.
And did Mr. Platt state that Mr. Jackson is the one who damaged the door?
They never stated that he damaged the door. The door was already, that was his only way of entry.
Can you describe to us the damage to the door that you saw?
The front glass door was broken. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The front glass door was broken.
Was this, since you said it was a business, was it just one door or was it a larger door? Can you just give us a description?
It was the front door of the incident location.
When you spoke to Mr. Platt, was he able to give you an indication of how much it was going to cost to repair or replace the door?
Yes, ma'am. It said approximately $900.
Was Mr. Jackson still at the location when you got there?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you able to interview him about what happened?
He was read his Miranda rights. I don't think he chose to speak with officers.
Did he make any statements to you all?
If I would, can I have a minute to review the report for 1 second?
If you review your report, would that help to refresh your recollection?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, please take a moment. Let me know when you have reviewed your report.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Okay. Yeah, no, he didn't choose to speak with officers. He waited. He was wearing his Miranda rights, and he chose not to speak with officers.
Was the defendant cooperative with the officers when you got there?
No, ma'am, he wasn't. When we got there, we announced ourselves into the place of business. We yelled out numerous times, Clayton County Police Department. Then he did advise he was in the he said yes, I'm in here. So we advised him to come out. He came out. We held him at gunpoint. We advised him, turn around, and he refused our officer's command. He just said, come and arrest me or shoot me. And it was then at this point we one officer held him at taser point. Then I had went and placed handcuffs on him, and we took him to the vehicle, and we read him his Miranda rights, and he chose not to speak with officers.
Were you able to determine how the defendant made entry into the business?
No, ma'am, that was never determined. We never found a weapon or anything like that as of his means to force entry into the incident location. That was never found out. We were when we were attempting to conduct our interview, that was going to be one of our questions. but unfortunately he didn't want to speak with the officer. So after we read him his Miranda rights and he chose not to speak, we just advised him what his charges of, and we took him to the Clayton County Jail.
Was Mr. Platt able to give you an indication of when the last time he was at the business was?
No, ma'am.
I know you said Mr. Platt worked there. Were you able to speak to an owner of the business?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I spoke to the owner as well. And he advised that he doesn't know the defendant. And he actually, the owner actually, he wasn't gonna press charges, but the defendant actually insisted on, for some reason he just wanted to go to jail. And we gave him his wish.
Did all of this take place in Clayton County?
Yes, ma'am, it did.
That's all I have. Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Jackson, you have the right to ask questions of Officer Cox. We need to unmute Mr. Jackson. Do you want to ask questions of Officer Cox?
No, I do want to know that is Miss Marsha hearing still there? Because this actually just stipulated into something that she can easily explain in a few sentences if she's still there. If not, so I'll still say it myself. Actually, she can definitely represent me easily. Yes, very much so. Yes,
Judge, I'm going to object to that because Your Honor went over, sir.
Mr. Jackson, hold on.
Your Honor went over all of this with the defendant before we started the hearing. And he insisted that he wanted to go forward and insisted that he wanted to represent himself, that he did not want the assistance of another attorney. And so now, after having heard the testimony about what he's charged with, now he says, oh, well, Ms. Herring can definitely do this, that, and the other. And so I'm going to object to that.
Mr. Jackson, you were given the opportunity to have Ms. Herring represent you before this hearing started, and you declined that representation. Now, I've heard evidence. At this point, I'm not inclined to reappoint her for the purposes of this hearing. But I can appoint the public defender's office to represent you moving forward, which I think if your main concern is trying to get out of jail, that would be a wise thing to do. So do you want representation moving forward?
No, I don't want anything moving forward. So if that was the case, Officer Ken, if there was nobody there and there was nobody to describe the case of the crime, that means that there was nobody there to say who damaged the door. So that furthermore means that it's further leading to me not damaging the door. The only thing that you can confirm, if that's what you're saying.
Judge, I want to object. The defendant has not asked any questions. He's making a statement right now. He hasn't asked any questions.
I understand. I'm going to overrule that objection for this purpose. I have heard testimony where it's clear in my mind how this happened and how Mr. Jackson has been alleged to be the perpetrator. So, Mr. Jackson, normally I give lawyers time to ask questions that they may be trying to figure things out in a preliminary hearing standpoint. Once I've made a determination that there's probable cause for the case to move forward, I can stop the hearing at that point. And so,
Can I just ask one question, please?
yes, sir.
Please. She said that she asked him a question. The question was
Okay,
he there?
hold on. I don't need a preamble. You said you're gonna ask a question, ask the question of the witness.
Mr. Kidd,
Yes,
did
sir.
he or did he not say I was there at the scene of the crime?
Yeah, you were there, sir.
Did he or did he not say that I damaged it? That I damaged the door?
They never said you damaged the door, but
Did he or did
they
at
never,
that?
what you said, sir?
Did he or did he not say that he was willing to let this go, but I pursued staying there, criminal trespass?
So
What's the point?
I heard that testimony. Hold on, Officer Cox. I heard that testimony, Mr. Jackson. Any more questions?
Yes, I furthermore want to say she also asked him, this is just a statement leading to a question. This is contemplation. I don't want to cause any pandemonium in the court. She further said, when was he there to last note damages of the door? He stated, so my question is, when was the last time he was there for the door?
Okay, so what I heard was that this person, Mr. Plant, was the person that called 911 to report you being inside of the residence with the door open. Now, whether you damaged the door or not is something to be determined at trial. At this stage, more likely than not is the standard. So at some point, the door was broken. You were found in the place with the door being broken. And according to the testimony, you said you wanted to go to jail. So
yes,
that's sufficient to me at this stage.
okay.
Because because that statement theoretically may show a guilty mind, or it may show a person that's acting out. But right now, it's more likely than not. Okay. All right. So hold on. I'm gonna find that there's probable cause to bind these charges over to the Superior Court of Clayton County. So, Officer Cox, you can be excused. Mr. Jackson, I'm gonna give you one last time to ask a question about this process, okay?
My last question. Did I or did I not get witness destroying the door in itself?
You did not.
I or did I?
You did not.
Okay,
I just explained how I got to the point of binding this case over. Okay.
Judge, can Officer Cox be excused because he has his 1-year-old?
He does. He can be excused.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Officer Cox. You too.
You're welcome. Mr. Jackson, you have some, let me say this to you. You possibly have some valid issues in your case, but you're going to need an attorney to represent you. And if you don't, if you don't do that, you just move forward at your peril. Okay.
I mean, she's right here. We can use her, but that means you're going to further tell me that I.
Nope. Asked you 3 times and you turned it down 3 times. So once you waive your right to speak and you make it a statement that could be held against you, you can't go back and take back the fact that you chose to speak.
That's fine. Excuse me. How much is the bond? The bond is still $1,500, right?
It's 10,011.
10% is 10,011, so that's $1,100 in total, right?
Yes, sir.
So $1,100 in total. That's fine.
It's it's 5,000 for the criminal trespass and 10,000 for the criminal damage to property in the second degree. for a total bond of $1,500.
Okay, cool.
No,
So
Judge, his bond
there-
is, Judge, his bond is actually 15,000.
I'm
He has-
sorry.